Hey guys, welcome back to my NFL Power Rankings. This is NFL Addict here with NFL Week 17 Power Rankings. This is part 2, so this will be the top 16 teams, team number 16 and team number 1. If you're looking for the bottom 16 teams or team number 16 and team number 17, that should be in part 1. Link to that should be popping up top of your screen. And just to let you guys know, this is not the last Power Rankings I'll be doing. I'll be doing a final regular season Power Ranking just because I think it would be unfair to make this the final one without counting in anything that may happen in Week 17. Now that could get, a little wacky with all the, the players being sat and all that, but I'll add that in next week. And also I'll be doing a wild card round, Power Rankings, Divisional Conference, and then obviously I'll be doing a Super Bowl preview. So I'm not done with Power Rankings just yet, but it does feel kind of, symbolic that we're already at Week 17. But let's go ahead and get started. But entering the yellow, we have team number 16, which just so happens to be the Bears. They absolutely blew out the Jaguars. It was an amazing game for their offense. These past couple of weeks, their offense has been absolutely on fire. I mean, they are definitely looking like, it was crazy. They were 5-1, then they dropped 6 straight. Now they've won 3 straight. They're back in the playoff picture. They're winning, they're in, and it's crazy to see. The roller coaster that Bears fans must be going on right now is insane. But now they're back in it. They've blown out a couple teams over the past 3 weeks, and they are ready to keep on rolling. Next up, at team number 15, we have Washington. Yeah, they lost, but it wasn't a terrible loss. The defense did still play pretty well and only allowed 20 points. And also, they did manage to score 13 points with Dwayne Haskins and Taylor Heineke at quarterback, and with Scary Terry being injured. So, yeah, hopefully, I'm pretty sure they're getting Alex Smith and Terry McLaurin back this week. So, they lost, and they're getting better. I don't know. I just left them at 15th. They do not move at all. At 14th, they have the Cardinals, who dropped down one. They got a tough loss against the 49ers. C.J. Beathard went out there and had quite a game against them. They allowed C.J. Beathard to basically do whatever he wanted against this team. It was a pretty close loss, though, so I can't fault them too badly. But yeah, they dropped down by 1. They are now in 14th. And in 13th, we have the Colts, who dropped down by 5. They played pretty well in the first half. They were up 21-7. They absolutely collapsed in the second half. They lost 21-3 in the second half. It was pretty terrible, one of the worst half of balls we've seen from them in a while. And yeah, they did. They played pretty well in the first half, but again, a lot of this is helped by the fact that they have such good teams above them. They have officially fallen out of the playoff picture for the AFC. I'm pretty sure if they win, they might get in. I'm not exactly sure how that whole AFC thing works out. The AFC playoffs picture right now is insane, kind of. We're going to have a team that is 10-6 or 11-5 miss the playoffs, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, in 12th, we had the Dolphins, who jump up by 2. They went out there and they got a nice, close but nice win against the Raiders, 26-25. If only what's his name, Gruden had actually gone for the touchdown there, maybe they would have won. But no, the Dolphins, they get the win here. That was an amazing throw. Obviously, we saw at the end of the game when Ryan Fitzpatrick had his face mask yanked to the side. I'm sure you see it right now. That was insane. That's where they moved up on its own. But the fact that there was a completion, it was kind of crazy. Just outside the top 10, we had the Buccaneers, who jump up by 1. They had an amazing win over the Lions. But the reason they'll move up more is because they did. They only allowed 7 points to David Blau and Chase Daniels. If Matthew Stafford had been in there, maybe it would have been, 21-47, but they do move up a lot because of how amazing that offensive play. They would have moved up 1 if it wasn't for the fact that, the top 10 teams are pretty freaking good. Entering the top 10, we have the Browns, who dropped down by 5. They lost to the Jets. That was kind of pathetic. Their offense only scoring 16 points on that Jets defense looked pretty bad, so yeah, their defense at least only held them to 23 points, which is respectable, but, that offense collapsed. If their defense had allowed 30, 35 points or something, we would see them down, possibly 14th, 13th or something. But no, they managed to hang on to the top 10, but they are no longer a top 5 team, and I doubt they can do anything this week against the Steelers that will put them back up there. So at 9th, we have the Ravens, who jump up by 2. They're getting hot right at the right time. They but they got a nice win over the Giants. I believe it was 27-13. It was a pretty good win over the Giants. In my opinion, I think that win probably actually knocked them out of playoff contention. Obviously, I know if they beat the Cowboys and Washington loses, but still, the Giants looked pretty terrible in that game, but the Ravens still were able to take care of business. Next up, entering the green area of the top 8, in 8th, we had the Titans, who dropped down by 4. I got absolutely demolished by the Packers, 40-14. It was a terrible showing. Their offense just could not do anything, the Titans looked pretty bad. They dropped down by 4. And yeah, moving on to the 7th, we have the Seahawks who jump up by 2. They got a nice win. I'm pretty sure they clinched the division actually against the Rams, 20-9, and they looked really good doing it. I mean, the defense held that Rams offense to 9 points, and yeah, their offense didn't actually play too well, only scoring 20 points, but that defense stepping up is what really bumped them up. And also, I mean, their offense did good enough to, get them the win, so obviously it didn't play too terribly. Just outside the top 5, he almost made it, buddy. We had the Rams who jump up by 1, despite the fact that they lost to the Seahawks. I don't know how. I think what would happen is the Titans, they dropped down from 4, and that kind of bumped them up. I don't know. I would have just left them there. But anyways, it had a lot to do with teams moving around them, but they did kind of disappoint me offensively, only scoring 9 points. Their defense, which has been their strength all season, held that Seahawks offense to 20 points, so it was pretty good on that part. But really, the Rams, not too great right now. Well, not too great of a week. They are looking pretty good right now, but last week wasn't it. I'm sure they might have clinched playoffs. I'm not sure. Next up, we have the Steelers, who are jumping up by 5. They got a nice win. They look absolutely amazing in that second half. The defense held the Colts to 3 points in that whole second half, and then offense was able to go out there and score 28 points. Now, that first half,